when I pushed for a divorce settlement. Through the marble countertop, Eleanor's eyes opened wide. It was as if she were staring into some impossible mirage. Are you ready? Her voice is like a wisp of air. I loosened my tie. I haven't been home for a week. Now, standing at the grand entrance to the West Village, the brownstone we bought with so much effort, our dream home, it felt as cold and impersonal as a hotel suite. Since I found out you bought Jasper Finch a $100,000 watch. She looked pale. That was last month. She thought I didn't know. Leo, it's not what you think. She stood up suddenly, pushed the crystal vase on the coffee table. Jasper is. I interrupted her, my voice remained calm. Only slightly younger than your husband. More exciting, or maybe. I picked up my phone and swiped to the photo. He can take you. Go to a music festival you've always wanted to go to. When I'm stuck in the office, chatting with clients until I can't see straight. In the photo, Eleanor and Jasper are attending an event at Coachella. She wears a crown of flowers on her head, grinning like a college freshman. I saw it on Instagram last week, posted by one of her friends. She must have forgotten to hide her story from me. Eleanor's lips trembled. Her neatly manicured nails dug deep into her palms. Leo, listen to me. Nothing happened between us. I smiled bitterly. I browsed a little bit of the photos I collect on my phone. You bought him a six-figure watch and a new sports car. You had a birthday dinner for two. You went to a music festival together. What else is kissing? Sleeping together? I think I should congratulate myself. I found that when I did this, before this gets even more embarrassing. She looks like a complete failure, sat back on the plush sofa. Leo, have you ever thought about, maybe you are partly responsible for this, too? What did you say? I couldn't believe my ears. Eleanor, I am gentle and delicate. Reasonable. Eleanor, talking nonstop, straight from a cheesy reality show. I admit I've been spending more time with Jasper lately, she said, her voice rose. But have you ever examined yourself? The man I fell in love with, from a simple background. But he is smart. He is indeed arrogant. But he has principles. He is not afraid of anything. This is the man I dated. But now look at you. You're bending over backwards for a deal. You got drunk over a contract and ended up in the hospital. You have no bottom line. You used to take care of me. You were always by my side. Now you stumble in after midnight. I have to take care of you. Jasper is different from the others. He looks a bit like you. But his personality is exactly the same as yours before. So you hang out with him because he's like me? For Christ's sake, I'm not dead yet. I yelled, my eyes burning. But the person I knew is gone. She screamed louder than me. It seems like she is the one who was wronged. You have changed. You sold your dignity for money. Why did you become like this? Her words pierced my heart like ice. Why did I become this kind of person? My thoughts go back to 7 years ago. We are students from Columbia University. She is the daughter of a lucky man, Fortune 500 CEO. I was a working-class kid living on scholarships. Get high marks in every course. I am arrogant, quickly point out any injustice I see. I will walk away from any situation that I feel is unfair, no matter who I deal with. I think this rebellious streak caught Eleanor's attention. She started pursuing me. Because she is beautiful and smart, I didn't refuse. My friends all say that I am capable of so much more than I can handle. But I feel like I'm the king of the world. She is incredible to me. My humble background doesn't matter. For the rest of college, I never wanted for anything. My roommate jokes that I exude smug romantic happiness. With the support of Eleanor, I no longer need to work part-time. I spent time in the lab with the professor. Graduate, I have a number of valuable patents. A top technology company knocked on the door before I got my diploma. The CEO personally promised me, if I take my patent to his company, in 5 years his executive position will belong to me. I promised Eleanor I would give her a big wedding. In these 5 years, she just opened her arms and hugged me and pulled me close. That night, she gave herself to me. My future is bright. But then something incredible happened. Eleanor's father made a disastrous investment in a new venture. The company's capital chain is broken. In the digital age, news of the trouble spread quickly. Orders canceled, project stagnation. Too much pressure. Her father jumped from the office building. When her mother heard the news, she had a severe stroke. She was partially paralyzed. I still remember that rainy night. Eleanor stood outside my little apartment, soaking wet, holding her sister's hand. They shivered like two stray animals. My dad's company is going bankrupt, she cried. Her eyes were red and painful. I called everyone. My family and friends are avoiding me. Leo, you're the only one who can help me now. Look into her desperate eyes. I tore up the acceptance letter from a tech giant. The next day, I walked into the office. Her family's debt-ridden company, a place where even wages can't be paid. To protect her from the influence, I asked her to transfer ownership. The whole operation was very important to me. My life has become a blur since that day. I chase clues during the day and at night, sleeping on the sofa in the office. I did it because I saw Eleanor, carefree princess. She used to buy whatever she wanted, without hesitation, standing in front of a gourmet ice cream shop, eyeing her favorite flavor. Take out your phone and put it away. She turned to me and smiled, and said her period is coming soon, so she shouldn't eat anything cold. My heart feels like it's being stabbed by 1,000 needles, tiny needles. I swore to myself, I'm willing to do my best to give her a new life. From that day on, I became a different person. To get a small contract, I was kicked out of a potential client's office. I found his home address, show up at his door with a gift basket. It feels like the 100th time. When I knocked on his door, the guy didn't scold me. He actually invited me in. His elderly father just fell down the stairs. No words spoken. I helped him carry the old man to the car and drove them to the hospital. Customers are busy with their work. It took him 3 days to get back to the hospital. I was with his father during that time. Help him with everything from changing the potty to feed him with a spoon. When he saw how focused I was, he gave me a huge contract without reservation and promised to become a loyal customer, as long as we can deliver. That deal is a lifeline. Getting the factory running again, it gave me the confidence to keep going. Dinner and drinking with clients until I got alcohol poisoning. Kneeling down has become the norm. Through sheer, shameless persistence, I brought that company back from the brink of bankruptcy. The first 2 years were hell for Eleanor and me. We work around the clock. She also has to take care of her mother in the hospital. Her sister Isabella needs tuition to study abroad. We made sure she had it, even if it means we have to cut back on our necessities. A young woman being alone in a foreign country shouldn't be a struggle, but the effort paid off. After 2 years of hard work, the company is profitable again. That year, Eleanor and I finally got married, thinking about the family we would build. We'll settle down, kids. I have a new burden on my shoulders, and I work harder. Now she looks down on me and says I have no dignity, chasing money. Certainly, she's having a good time again. She is no longer the girl crying in the rain, ask me for help. She forgot the shame of wanting something and know you can't afford it. Suddenly, my past 5 years of sacrifice feel like a giant joke. All the groveling, all the grinding. What is all this for? But it doesn't matter anymore. Her heart is lost. I won't keep a woman who doesn't want me. Divorce is happening. I've been thinking about this all week. Since I left home, I spent 7 days in hell, feeling like a ghost. But I'm done now. I can see clearly. I calmly picked up the settlement documents. She threw it on the floor and pushed them back in front of her. Read carefully and sign if you have no questions. We want a divorce. Her eyes are red. She looked at me with an angry expression. It seems like I'm the irrational one. I won't sign. You can fix this defect. I won't blame you. I just feel for Jasper. You are the only one I love. I sneered and shook my head. The only person she loves. She turned a blind eye to everything I did. But Jasper still whispered a few sweet words, gave her some handmade trinkets. The heiress completely melted. You don't want me to chase him? By the way, everything you gave him? It was purchased with our joint assets. His father suffers from cancer and is often hospitalized. You paid off his $150,000 loan shark. You've been paying for his medical expenses for months. If I decide to take legal action, he must return every penny. Heard this? She looked at me like I was a total stranger. Leo, how could you be so cruel? His family has suffered so much. His sister is still in college. His father has terminal cancer. If he stops receiving treatment, he will die. Can't you have a little compassion? Why should I sympathize with a man who wants to steal my wife? The world is full of sad stories. Go to any cancer ward and you will see people suffering. Why do you only feel sorry for him? She stammered, unable to answer, and tried to change the subject. Anyway, I don't agree to divorce. You're not thinking clearly today. Take a shower. I will give you a massage to relax you. You've been gone for a long time. No, I want to go back to the hotel. I turned and walked out, ignoring her call behind me. I never thought she would sign today, but I have many ways to make her. My years in business. Not only did it make me smoother and flexible, they forged my heart into something as hard as iron. As the saying goes, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. If I can't be ruthless, I'll be the one that gets crushed. If his father doesn't get treatment, he will die. Then he'll just die. Back to the hotel, the first thing I did, canceled all of Eleanor's credit cards. I then instructed my attorney to commence legal action. Retrieve all gifts and funds given to Jasper Finch. I blocked Eleanor's number. I gave myself 2 weeks off. Luxury suites in private hospitals. If you don't pay, you won't be allowed to stay for a day. When I came back 2 weeks later, his funeral may be over. I've been suffering for a week. So I decided to clear my mind. I chose a place I always wanted to go, national parks in southern Utah. I've seen the photos, but they don't do justice to the real thing. Unique, exotic landscape of the canyon and the rock formations are a stunning testament to harnessing the power of nature. Standing under the vast and silent sky, surrounded by ancient stones, drama in New York fades. 2 weeks passed quickly. I realized I had never thought about Eleanor. When I got back to the office, the first thing I saw was Eleanor sitting in my chair. Her face was clouded. She said Jasper's father had passed away. Her voice was icy cold. Are you happy now? Is this really a tragedy? Please accept my condolences. Sitting on the sofa, arranged a bunch of files randomly. My assistant has left. My tone was emotionless. How did you become like this? That's a life. How can you? His time is borrowed anyway. Use my money to live a few more months. But don't thank me. This is a debt he must repay. Eleanor's face turned red with anger. Her eyes were almost on fire. Beautiful. I know you love money more than anything else. I will find a way to repay you. Her tone softened a little. Leave Jasper alone and solve your own problems. We can go back to the way things were before. You can go home tonight. Seem. She still thinks it's just me throwing a tantrum. I told you this marriage is over. You can continue to refuse to sign. I can wait. I believe one day you will come to me in person. She closed her eyes. Her chest rises and falls as she struggled to control her breathing. When she opened her eyes again, her expression was firm and resolute. As long as you don't bother him from now on, I'll pretend this never happened. You can go home today. We can be like before. See how much she's willing to give for Jasper. My chest aches. I thought my heart was numb. This is the woman I have loved for 7 years. I would give my life for her. But her heart now belongs to someone else. I didn't let her continue. I had security escort her out of the building. If you care about him so much, then it was his sister's turn. I have sent someone to investigate. Over the past few months, Jasper's sister Olivia Finch lived a luxurious life. During college, Eleanor sent her a generous sum of money. Monthly allowance. She not only lives a luxurious life, but she also found a handsome boyfriend and bore all his expenses. When I found out the truth, I had to laugh. I work hard to make money. And his entire family, like a bunch of leeches sucking my blood. Excellent. We'll find out how easy my blood is to drink. Eleanor's account is frozen. Olivia's pocket money is gone. But after several months of extravagant spending, not to mention having to support a clingy boyfriend, she needs cash urgently. Luckily, a friend suggested that I do a simple gig, working as a hostess at a high-end nightclub. But her boyfriend's needs also, coincidentally, it seems that growth, she never makes enough money. At the boss's persuasion, Olivia started to receive clients part-time. She is very attractive and has good business. A few days later, photos and videos of her working were leaked online. She was arrested for solicitation. 1 month's detention and a fine. $5,000. She got out of the car. She was expelled from the university. With no other choice, she returned to the club. As I expected, a few days later Eleanor found me. This time she's totally insane. Came into my office and made a mess. Olivia is a good student. You ruined her life. How can you be so cruel? I've never seen this side of you, she screamed. In the ruins, I sat quietly in the chair, wait until she tires herself out. Well, now you know. We can finalize our divorce today. Leo, do you really want to divorce me so much? I told you it was impossible. Don't think about it. So I guess Jasper is next, I said. My voice was calm, but it carried a terrible chill. Feeling ashamed. He only has 2 relatives left. I hope to keep him till the end. She knows I'm not bluffing. After a long silence, she finally deflated like a burst balloon and agreed to divorce. The sun was shining on the day we received the final verdict. Eleanor is beautifully dressed. She slowly walked behind me. I had to wait for her at the court entrance. As she picked up the pen to sign the document, she hesitated. Do we really have to do this? Nothing happened between us. But your heart changed, Eleanor. It's only a matter of time before the final boundary is crossed. Seeing the determination in my eyes, she signed. We were in tears as we walked out of the building. She asked me if I would cook for her. Last time at the brownstone. For the old times. I refused. I took her to an Italian restaurant in the village. We used to meet each other often in college. As a final gesture, I decided to give her a warning. I ordered our favorite dish. The silence was heavy while we waited. I said, Jasper is not what you think. Breaking the silence. There was hope in her eyes. Leo, I swear. There's nothing between us. I just saw the old you and M. I raised my hand to stop her. I don't want to hear her excuses. It doesn't matter anymore. What is the most expensive gift he has ever given you? In the past 3 months. Homemade cookies. Strangely shaped rocks. Small ornaments made from polished beer bottles. I changed the subject. Try this. Tell him you got nothing in the divorce. See how he reacts. Eleanor's expression, from confusion to disappointment. How do you know? Are you investigating us? But if you check us out, you'll see nothing happened. I didn't investigate you. I'm investigating him. He's not some innocent kid fresh out of college. He was playing with multiple girls at the same time. Back to school. Not only did he complete his studies without spending a penny, but he actually made money. His food, his clothes, his dates, all the money the girls paid for. All he gave them was worthless handicrafts. Seeing the conflict on her face, I know words are not enough. You have to show someone the truth. Here's what you need to do. I leaned over and whispered a plan in her ear. 1 week later, outside a luxury department store on Fifth Avenue, Jasper Finch fidgets in cheap sweats, holding a bouquet of flowers and keep checking his watch. Waited for a long time. If there is anything important, you must call me here. Eleanor walked up behind him and said. Jasper's face lit up. She was dressed brightly, as always. Very different from other girls he's dated. He swallowed hard and presented the flowers. Here you go, Eleanor. Do you like them? She cringes at the use of her name. He always calls her that. She used to think it was cute. It doesn't feel right now. What flower is this? I've never seen them in stores. She picked up a bundle of inexpensive colored paper. I just returned home yesterday. I saw these flowers growing on the cliffs. They are so beautiful. I have to climb all the way there. Just for you. Jasper's eyes wandered over her. The woman he had coveted for months. He heard she was divorced. He rushed back to the city overnight, reaching an agreement. With this beautiful, generous rewards. Today is the day for him to take action. Lost in the excitement, he didn't seem to notice the lack of joy on her face. You are so thoughtful. She looked pitiful. Small white flowers on branches. It's rude to throw them away, but it's awkward to carry them around. She decided to put them in the car. Then I met him on the street. So, what do you want to see me about today? Jasper paused. It seems like he finally noticed she was different. In the past, when he asked her out, she never asked why. Whenever they shopped, she would buy him anything he liked. Oh, no reason. I just haven't seen you for a few days and want to go out and play. As they spoke, they walked into a high-end watch boutique. Jasper nonchalantly asked the clerk to show him a very expensive model and put it on his wrist. Eleanor, what do you think of this? It looks good on me, don't you think? He held out his wrist to her. His face was full of smiles, with the innocent greed of a child wanting a toy. Honestly, this watch doesn't suit him at all. His wrist is thin, but the dial is huge. It's also very expensive. I have bought you a watch, Eleanor said coldly. You're just a resident. You can't wear a watch better than the chief surgeon. Jasper's smile froze. This is her first time. She had never refused him anything. Forward. All he had to do was express a desire for something. She would buy it. Oh, yeah, I'm just trying, he muttered. His expression was disappointment and resentment. Go over and look at that face. It looks a lot like young Leo. She would give him anything. As a fresh graduate, Jasper's social awkwardness only exacerbates her delusion. He is the real Leo. Her husband became a stranger. But after Leo revealed Jasper's past, she realized she didn't know him at all. This is true. Every time we meet, she paid for everything. He didn't even buy her a cup of coffee. To protect this man, she divorced her husband. After a few days of thinking, growing regret. Jasper, she said in a firm tone, you may have heard that I'm divorced. But you may not know. I left with nothing. From now on, I may not be able to. What? Before she could finish, Jasper exploded. How can you be so stupid? Why would you agree? Marital property should be divided equally. This. Before you married him, the company was your family's. You should compensate him directly. He's the one who made money from your business. You should be glad you gave him anything. His face, normally so harmless, it twisted into an ugly mask of anger. It's like Leo stole his money. Eleanor looked at him. The cold dawn. Similar outbreaks have occurred before, but she always mistook his greed for care about her. Now she sees the truth of the matter. This is between Leo and me, she said coldly. This doesn't seem to have anything to do with you. How can you say that? Jasper blurted out, forgetting himself. That's your family's company. Your money. How can we live if you give him everything? We are alive. What are you talking about? Eleanor frowned, her eyes sharp. Because he let the secret out, Jasper decided to go all out. So what? If she goes bankrupt, she is still a goddess. It's worth spending a night with a woman like this. Besides, he won't let Leo go. If he was with Eleanor, he'll make a scene in Leo's company. Posted all over the internet, telling the story of how Leo became a gold digger who confiscated his wife's assets, then dumped her. If he could force a solution, even a small part of the company, he will benefit from it for life. Eleanor, after such a long time, you must know how I feel about you. That jerk Leo doesn't appreciate you, but I will. I asked you here today to tell you, Eleanor Smith, I love you. Be my girlfriend. Eleanor was shocked. She didn't have time to react to what happened. The onlookers began to whisper. Is he serious? Bare-handed proposal? Correct. For such a beautiful woman, you would think he had at least one ring. He just said it in his words. He is surrounded by jewelry stores. He could buy a Jasper right now. Hearing the crowd, Jasper finally got the hint. He grabbed Eleanor's hand and took her to a nearby jewelry store. Didn't even ask her. He told the salesperson, take out their most expensive ring. He knows nothing about jewelry, but he knew one thing. When in doubt, go with the biggest and most expensive. He glanced at the ring on the velvet tray. He chose the most expensive one, getting ready to kneel down. Sorry, sir, the saleswoman said politely. If you have made your choice, can you settle the payment first? Jasper, angry at having their great moment interrupted. I know we are regulars here. Do you think we'll treat you badly for that? Eleanor, pay her. His words are shocking. Not just Eleanor, but everyone. Who asks a woman to pay for her own engagement ring? A look of contempt was cast at him. I just told you. Eleanor said, her voice low and dangerous. I left with nothing. How can I afford a ring like this? Even though I gave you so much money in the past few months, you should be fine if you buy it yourself. She never intended to agree. But now she sees his true colors with dazzling clarity. He called Leo a gold digger. But apparently, he's looking for meal tickets. The money is used for other things. When we moved into your mansion, he stammered, I plan to redecorate it to my liking. In any case, diamond rings are just a scam by capitalists. I will personally make a unique ring for you. When we took it home, he threw the ring onto the glass counter. The saleswoman gasped, picked it up quickly, and checked for damage. Fortunately, it was not damaged. She couldn't help but take a peek. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. If you end up with a cheapskate, your life will be miserable. Eleanor had never been so humiliated. Her face turned red. Jasper, I think you misunderstood. I've always treated you as my brother. Don't contact me again. She turned and walked away. Jasper, alone, he took out his anger on the saleswoman. Screaming, losing his temper in the middle of a store like a willful child. From that day on, Eleanor seemed like a different person. She started coming to my office every day, dressed impeccably, and bringing me home-cooked meals. She knows my habits very well. A cup of tea at the right temperature, it appears when I'm thirsty. A small plate of my favorite pastries will appear when I feel tired and stressed. This is a habit we developed during our most difficult times. I'll eat something sweet to relieve stress. She'll make a great cook and baker, just for me. I tried to tell her to stop, but she just smiled and said, I still own half of this company. After several attempts, as long as she doesn't bother me, I'll give up. She can do what she wants. Then one morning, I got a text from her. Hey, I have something to deal with today, so I won't go to the office. Don't forget to eat lunch. I don't know what she's doing. In fact, the day was easier without her around. Not bothering me not to drink cold water or eating greasy food. That night, when I got off work, she called me. Leo, I sprained my ankle going down the stairs. Can you come and take me to the hospital? If you sprain your ankle, call 911. I'm not a doctor. I was about to hang up when I heard her cry. I twisted them all. I couldn't even walk to the hospital. Okay, I'm on my way. When I arrived at her house, I found her to be very good in the kitchen. When she saw me, she rushed out with the shovel in her hand. Make yourself at home. Dinner is almost ready. What the hell is this? What happened to your sprained ankle? Sure enough, a few minutes later, the table is filled with my favorite dishes. Eleanor looked at me with a gentle expression. Fleeting. I saw that girl. She only had eyes for me. Leo, do you know what day? She asked about. Put a piece of braised pork on my plate. No, you didn't mean you. If I hadn't said that, would you have come? Today is our anniversary. The first time I told you I loved you. So I tell you again, I love you, Leo. Please give me another chance. Eleanor, it's over between us. If you keep going like this, we can't even be friends. I stood up and left. She grabbed my hand and burst into tears. Leo, I know I'm wrong, but I swear, nothing happened to Jasper. Just because he looks so much like you. Just like the arrogant you in the past. That's why because he's like me in the past, you can do all this for him? There are more than 7 billion people in the world. There must be thousands of people who look and act just like I did. Does this mean that if we get back together, I have to compete with all of them? No, Leo, that's not the case. I raised my hand. Let me finish. You said I changed. But why did I change? You know, before I joined the company, I had a golden ticket. A job opportunity that guarantees a bright future. Photos of you and your sister. The rain that night is deeply engraved in my soul. I swore that day that I would protect you too. I will never let you get wet in the rain again. Do you know what it feels like for a proud person to bow down? Knocking on a stranger's door and being scolded. Then I came back the next day and was cursed again. Dozens of times just to sign an agreement. Sometimes I feel disgusted with myself. I can't show you my pain. Because I'm afraid of making you sad. So I'll find an empty parking lot. I cried so hard that tears came out. Before I go home, I became the person I once despised. Do you know how sad this makes me? But our lives got better. Your sister is coming home from graduation. You've become a rich woman again. Anything you want. What finally broke me down was the woman I love with all my heart. I would give my life for her. Looks down on me. Eleanor, anyone in the world can look down on me. Anyone but you. My voice is full of emotion. Final words. I waved my arms across the table. Plates and glasses fell to the floor. The restaurant is in ruins. I walked out without looking back. Eleanor collapsed to the ground, expressionless. Tears flowed silently down her cheeks. She stopped coming to the office after that night. My life is back to the chaotic rhythm of late-night dinner with clients. One night, after a glass of whiskey, my stomach is churning and the world is dark. I woke up in a hospital bed. My throat is dry. Okay, thank you. I picked up the cup and drank greedily. My vision cleared and I saw the person holding it. The second half of my thanks stopped in my throat. What are you doing here? I thought we had made things clear. Brother-in-law? It's me, Isabella. The woman opposite me was smiling. Isabella, when will you come back? I looked carefully. She does look different from Eleanor. Even though they were cut from the same mold, Isabella is more energetic. Eleanor is more calm and elegant. I graduated, so I went home. Oh, by the way, I don't have a job yet. I will go to work in your company tomorrow. Well, she arranged her future. No need to wait for an answer. Isabella, your sister and I are divorced. You shouldn't call me brother-in-law anymore. As for work, I will report to the Human Resources Department tomorrow. You can have any position you want. I've always had a soft spot for her. Ever since I started dating Eleanor. Always try to meet her every request. Okay, Leo, but I'll stay here and take care of you. Until you are discharged. Then we can go to the office together. She began to tell a story on her experience studying abroad. She had to learn to do everything on her own because hiring help is too expensive. It's too unsafe to let strangers into her apartment. She's amazingly good at taking care of others. Her pleasant conversation was very enjoyable. 2 days later, I'm out of the hospital. First day at Isabella's. She got a call from the police. Her sister Eleanor suffered a fatal accident. We rushed to the police station. In the detention room, Eleanor. She looks like she's in a state of deep shock. Isabella ran to comfort her. When I went to talk to the detective, facts prove Jasper has been harassing Eleanor relentlessly. After she interrupted him, he tried to find another wealthy donor. But his calculating nature always comes out. Women will take advantage of him, then abandon him without giving him a penny. He began to miss the good times with Eleanor and began to monitor her home. Appearing every day, expressing his love with wildflowers picked by hand. She had called the building security several times to report him, so he started waiting for her. Right outside the gate. He had been there again earlier that day. His eyes were fixed on the entrance. When a familiar red Ferrari drove up, he rushed in front of it. Eleanor didn't have time to react. The car hit him and ran over him. A terrible scream. Panicked, Eleanor slammed into reverse. Ran him over again. Another scream. In the new wave of terror, her hand slipped and she moved back, rushing forward through his body again. This happened again and again. After a dozen times, Jasper Finch finally fell silent. Eleanor came back to her senses, got out of the car to check the scene, and called 911. Survey conclusions. Although the first impact could be an accident, subsequent actions are difficult to justify. She was therefore convicted of manslaughter. Because the victim has a history of harassment, is a mitigating factor. But the horrific nature of this act, annoying. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison. First 3 years, Isabella and I visited her every month. Eleanor would tell Isabella to take good care of me, how hard a person works, and build your own business. In the 4th year, I went alone. Isabella is pregnant. When I told Eleanor, her expression was filled with mixed emotions. But in the end, she wished us happiness. 1 year later, Isabella gives birth to twin boys. Around the same time, Eleanor, about to be released. She was there during the boys' 1-month celebration. She held them in her arms, her eyes full of admiration. How about your aunt take care of you from now on? So she moved into our villa and helped us raise the children. She is an excellent cook and a natural caregiver. With her around, Isabella and I can focus on our work. We are at ease.